end quote. Yeah, what a world. All of this is horrible. But these are topics better considered in our second Anthropology of Waste module, dealing with industrial wastes. With the exception of products that off-gas toxins into the air, or products you use on your skin, or the flame retardant she talked about, in general, what we bring home isn't as dangerous as what the manufacturing process leaves behind in the communities where people are forced to produce this stuff. Environmental injustices mostly occur at the sites of manufacture. And providing you don't burn the material you consume or bury it in your backyard, leaving clean, sorted garbage on your property, properly covered, isn't going to have much of a health impact on you or your environment. It is in the disposal of your household wastes that they cause their huge problems, which is why authors like McDonough and Brungart champion the cradle-to-cradle model that seeks to define everything as a type of nutrient. As the University of Limerick's Contemporary Design Culture course in Ireland tells it, and I'll use my Irish accent, in the cradle-to-cradle model, all materials used in industrial or commercial processes, such as metals, fibers, dyes, fall into one of two categories: technical or biological nutrients. Technical nutrients are strictly limited to non-toxic, non-harmful synthetic materials that have no negative effects on the natural environment. They can be used in continuous cycles as the same product without losing their integrity or quality. In this manner, these materials can be used over and over again instead of being downcycled into lesser products, ultimately becoming waste. Biological nutrients are organic materials that, once used, can be disposed of in any natural environment and decompose into the soil, providing food for small life forms without affecting the natural environment. This is dependent on the ecology of the region. For example, organic material from one country or landmass may be harmful to the ecology of another country or landmass. The two types of materials each follow their own recycle cycle in the regenerative economy, end quote. You'll have to forgive me, I'm a Culhane, County Limerick is where we come from. Now, cradle to cradle is unabashedly circular, and if we can keep the technical and biological cycles from overlapping in dangerous ways, industrial ecologies should be able to thrive alongside natural ecologies, and we can envision a regenerative economy where households no longer dispose of anything, but simply give back to each cycle the nutrients it needs when it needs them. There would be no garbage pickup, just technical nutrient pickup. In my opinion, the biological nutrients should stay in the community entirely to help produce new food and natural ecosystems there, at home. So there's one point that the Story of Stuff tries to drive home throughout its presentation that I want to unpack and actually contradict here. Lennox says, quote,
"We are running out of resources. We are using too much stuff." Now, I know this can be hard to hear, but it's the truth, so we've got to deal with it. In the past 3 decades alone, 1/3 of the planet's natural resource base has been consumed. Gone.
End quote. Well, not quite gone, Annie. Transformed. Rendered into a form that most industries may no longer consider valuable enough en soi to recover, but not gone. Industrial ecology doesn't see anything as gone. Even burned, the chemicals resulting from the combustion of our so-called garbage isn't gone. If it were, we wouldn't have the greenhouse effect or pollution and its toxic legacy. The chemical residuals are still here on Earth, not gone. And in many cases, they're wreaking havoc. And in other cases, they aren't causing us that many problems so long as they don't get into our waterways. But we just don't want them around in their current used form. They take up space and we think they look ugly. But gone? Out of sight,